Today I'm going to share with you how to fill your DS-160 form. So if you are B2, B1 or F1, F2, so far as you are a non-immigrant, maybe you are going for an exchange program, you're going for graduation, you're going for visiting, then it means that you have to fill the DS-160 form. You fall under this category. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can fill the DS-160 form after you've gotten admission and the school sends you your I-20. What you have to do next is you have to fill your DS-160 form. If you're a non-immigrant, you are going for an exchange program, you are going for a master's or PhD, you are going for graduation, then you have to fill this form. B1, B2, F1, F2. Applicants must fill the DS-160 form. So now you just come to Google, then you just search for the DS-160 login. So you just check the first tab that comes, just tap on it, then it opens the portal. So US Department of State Consular Electronic Application Center. This is very security sensitive, so you make sure when you are doing it, you have to take your time, but then be fast as well. So I'm applying from Ghana, so I'm going to choose Ghana. And this is my first time applying, right? So Ghana, Accra, then the code. It's actually going to give you a code here, but the code, if you actually can't see the code, you can just refresh and it's going to give you a more clearer code which you can input. So XC5. So now instead of retrieving an application, I'm going to start an application. Okay, I'm going to start an application. So start application, then Computer Fraud and Abuse Act notices. You just have to check the box, I agree. If you have time, you can read all of this because it's also very necessary. Then here you are going to get a code. It's actually going to give you a code. This is your application ID code. So you just have to put it down or jot it down somewhere. So in my case, mine is AA00CTXEVD. So you just have to put this code somewhere because you're going to need this code. Then here you come here, it's going to ask you security question. So let's just tap here. So the first question, it says, what is the given name of your mother's mother? What is the given name of your father's father? What is your maternal grandmother's maiden name? So you just choose the one that you can easily remember. So here I'm going to go with my mother's mother. So my mother's name is Ya Odro. Then I'm going to continue. Make sure you keep this in mind because when you delay on this website, it's automatically going to check you out. And whenever it checks you out and you are coming back onto the site, you have to provide the security question and the answer that it demands or the answer that it requires. And if you don't get it right, it's not going to give you access. So this is the first page or the first session where we're going to fill. You can see the application ID is here. And also my surname, I'll go with Japan. Then my given name, I'll go with Evans. Full name in native alphabet, you just check the box does not apply. Have you ever used other names or maiden, religious, professional, alias, etc.? No. Do you have a telecode that represents your name? No. So sex, male, marital status, single, then date of birth, 22nd January. My date of birth is 22nd January 1990, right? So city where I was born, Etibie, in the eastern part of Ghana. Then the state or province, I'm going to use Eastern. Make sure anything you are putting in here, it correlates with what is on your passport. Your passport information, the date of birth on your passport must be the same as what you're going to provide here. It shouldn't contradict or you shouldn't give different ideas here. It should be the same. That is what is on your passport and what is on your birth cert must be the same as what you are providing here. This session, the date and place of birth. So the country where I was born, Ghana. If it does not apply, you just check the box does not apply. So one thing you have to do is that always when you provide the information, you have to save. If you don't save and the system checks you out, you're going to lose all the things that you've already filled. So continue application. It will bring you back to the place for you to verify or cross-check if the information you've provided is actually the same. And like I said, this side should be the same as the one on your birth cert or your passport. So let's go to next. So here, personal information, two, country, region of origin. So where were you born? My case, Ghana. Ghana. Do you hold or have you held any nationality other than the one indicated above on nationality? No. Are you a permanent resident of a country, region other than your country? No. If you have dual citizenship, you can just check the yes box and provide the other country where you come from. National identification number. Those in Ghana, I know you have your Ghana card, so you can provide your number here. During my time, I didn't provide it, so I just check this box, does not apply. US social security number. If you don't have, you just check the box, does not apply. US taxpayer ID number, does not apply. Then you save. Continue application to come back to the same place. Then you check, you cross-check if the details that you've provided is actually the same. Then travel information. So purpose of trip to the United States. Why are you going to the United States? Here you come, there is a lot of sessions here where you can choose, but in our case, because we are F1 students or F2 or non-immigrant, we're going to check the academic or language student. So here it says specify. So I'm going to check the F1. If you are going with a child or your spouse, then you're going to go with the F2. But if you are going alone, then you're going to go with the F1. So F1, have you made any specific travel plans? No. So intended date of arrival. For those of us who are coming here for the very first time, once you get admission, your school is going to give you a document, a file, your I-20, which indicates the number of years you're going to be in the school, your program of study, and the cost of living. Everything will be on that document. So now what you have to do is that you just have to check that document, and you will see that the school is going to specify the intended date that you should arrive. So you just have to provide such information by looking on what is on the I-20. The I-20 is what is going to give you this information. Intended length of stay in the US. So what is your program duration? 2 years master's, 4 or 5 years for PhD. There is a lot of argument on this as to what to provide, but my time, what I did was address where you stay in the US because you are an international student and you're actually going to be in school. You should provide the address of the school. Like I said, all this information will be on your I-20. So you should check on your I-20. Your I-20 is the document that your school is actually going to provide after you've gotten admission. So address where you will stay in the US. Here, use the school's address. Norwood Avenue, City, Denver, State, Colorado. Then the zip code is going to be 80304. Then person paying for your trip. If you are the one going to pay for your trip, you put self. If your father or your mother or your immediate family member is the one going to pay for your trip, then you choose other. So when you check the other, there's going to be like a pop-up section where you're going to put in the name of the person, the telephone number, the email address, and the relationship to you. So is the person your parent, your spouse, other relative, friend, other, you just specify. Is the address of the party paying for your trip the same as your home or mailing address? You just check yes or no. If no, then you're going to provide the address of the person where the person is staying. There's a lot of argument on this. A lot of people believe that the one paying for your trip should be, let's say, the school. So you should put the school's name there because they are actually sponsoring you. They are giving you the offer. But it always depends. You can just put in self and you are good to go. My time, that is what I did. And the address where you'll be staying in the US also has some, arguments surrounding it because some people believe that where you are going to stay in the US should be maybe if you have any relative or you have any cousin in the US, you can use the address. But I'm going to tell you that it's not advisable. Use the school's address where you are going to. At times you can find it on the I-20. If you can't find it on the I-20, always you're going to see the DSO's information on the I-20. That is the designated school official. Make sure you contact that person and you get the address of the person. That person is actually in charge of international students or non-immigrant that are coming in to study. So you just have to check I-20, if it has an address, you just put in the address of the department or the school you are going to. If it doesn't have, you can just contact the DSO and the DSO is going to give you an address where you can input in this session. So let me save. It says, please correct all areas in error as indicated. So this doesn't make sense because we are in 2024. So let me do it 2024, 15th. Or 12. Yeah, let me see. Okay. So once that is done, then you can just cross check and see if everything looks good, right? So now let's go to the next one. Travel companions information. Are there other persons traveling with you? No. Then you save. Continue application. Next. Have you ever been in the US before? No. Have you ever been issued a US visa? No. Have you ever been refused a US visa or been refused admission to the United States or withdrawn your application for admission at the port of entry? No. Has anyone filed an immigrant petition on your behalf with the United States Citizenship and Immigration Services? No. Then you save. Continue application. So this session, if you have been in the US before, just be sincere and check the yes box. It's going to ask you other questions, when were you there and how many years or how many months did you stay in the US? But in my case, because it's no, I'll just check the no box and I'm good. So here it's going to ask address and phone information. So street address. So here is asking you of your current home country where you stay in and the address. So in my case, I was staying at Osu, Asafuache, Timpon Street. Then the city. So where was I staying? I was staying in Accra. Then the state, I'm going to do it with Greater Accra region. If it does not apply, just check the box does not apply. But during my time, this is how I did it. I was able to get my visa approved, so you can just use the same format. Then the postal zone or zip code, Ghana, our postal code is 00233. Then select your country or region. So definitely it's going to be Ghana, right? Mailing address, is your mailing address the same as your home address? Yes. So primary phone number 02, let me put in any number. Then secondary phone number does not apply. Work phone number does not apply. Have you used any other phone numbers in the last 5 years? No. Email address. Here you're going to provide Evans Asante. Please don't use an email that is not professional Make sure you are using a professional email. Avoid using an email that is not professional, like striker@gmail.com. You know, those kind of emails that are not professional, you should just avoid them. Make sure you are using a professional email. Have you used any other email address in the last 5 years? No. Then here it's going to ask you for your social media account. So your social media account, you just come here and you select which one, Ax.fm, Facebook, Google Plus, Instagram, LinkedIn, MySpace. So in my case, I use LinkedIn. Make sure the social media account you are providing is very professional and is void of any political or sensitive arguments or information, because they are always going to check. And when they go onto your website or they go onto your social media platform and they see that you are posting funny things or things that are very sensitive and political and taking certain stance, it's going to really affect your visa approval. So you should always check that. So social media identifier, what's your name on LinkedIn? So my name on LinkedIn is Ivan Sasante Japan. Then you can add another. So if you want, you can add maybe your Facebook account, you can add your Twitter account, but make sure it's void of any sensitive or any political information that you think is going to affect your visa. Do you wish to provide information about your presence on any other website or application you have used within the last 5 years? No. So you then save. Then continue application. It's going to give you the opportunity to cross check. And you go to next. So next is passport information. So if you have your passport ready, you just make sure you pick it up. Then travel document type or passport type is going to be regular. So you just come here and you choose the regular, right? Passport travel document number. Your passport is actually going to have a number on it. So you can just put in the number, right? Your passport always has a number. So you just put in the passport number. Then passport book number. Just check this box, does not apply. In country or authority that issue passport travel document, you go in for Ghana. So Ghana, right? Where was the passport or the travel document issued? So basically, I know in Ghana is Greater Accra, or you can just do it, yeah, Accra. Then state or province, if shown on passports, province is actually going to be Greater Accra. Then the country Ghana. So with the city and the state, always make sure the city is like the town and the state or the province is actually going to be like the region. And make sure that this is very coherent. Make sure that it is flowing in this same manner. Don't do this here and change it somewhere else. Make sure whatever you are doing, there is consistency in the information that you are providing. Issuance date. So issuance date, you're going to see it on the passport. When was the passport issued? You just have to put it here. Just check on your passport, you're going to see that. Then expiration date, you just put it there. When is your visa going to be expired? Just put it there. Here 2025. Once you're done, then have you ever lost a passport or had one stolen? No. Then save and continue. So it's going to come back to the same session. Then you can cross check the information if everything is in alignment. So now let's go to the next session. US point of contact. So there is a lot of argument on this section too, but like I said, it depends on how you're feeling this DS-160 form. This is how I did it, and I was able to come to the US. So you can just follow the format. So contact person organization in the United States. So here, point of contact, when you go to the school, when you go to US, whom are you going to be with, or who is going to receive you at the very first time that you get here? So here it says contact person organization in a state. So here I'm going to use my DSO, designated school official. So here maybe her name is Lillian. Then her given name is going to be like Susan. Then the organization name, you're going to provide the name of your school. So here maybe you just put it there. Then relationship to you, the relationship to you, here you just check school official, right? So US point of contact should be the DSO. The person's information will be on the I-20, the document that the school is going to provide to you when you get admission. So check the name of the person and provide that same thing here, because that is the person in charge for non-immigrant or international students that are coming to the US. So it's ideal to provide the person's information or details. So here the person's surname, the person's given name, then here the organization name, that is the name of the school where you're going to, relationship to you, school official, then address and phone number of the point of contact. You're going to find this on the I-20, but if you don't get it, just check on the I-20. You're going to find the person's name, and you can just check the person's name on Google, and you're going to get the person's address. You can reach out to the person that you are filling your DS-160, and they've asked for his or her address. You just send the message, and the person is going to provide you their address, and you just put it in this session or this part. So address and phone number of point of contact. So here I'm going to use the person's address. So no, would have been city is going to be no. I'll use Denver. Then state is going to be Colorado. Then the zip code is going to be 80304. Then the phone number of the person. So the person should be able to provide their phone number. And because the US phone number starts with 1 plus 1, you're going to go so 1720. Then you provide the person's email address. So Suzanne. Then let's go to save. So you see, because I delayed session timeout, so we have to log back in, and what we're going to do is going to ask of our country. So here I'm going to provide Ghana. Then I'm going to provide a security code. So 4YAJ. Once that is done, I'll come to retrieve an application. Going to ask me of my application ID, and because you have done it already, so I'm going to put it in. Like I said, you should always remember this. My first 5, Japan, year of birth 1990. What is the given name of Yao Dro? So you should always put this in mind, because if it asks you and you are not able to provide, you're going to miss all this information. So here we've done it already. The previous US travel. Have you been to the US before? Let's go to the next. So here, address and phone information. I've done that already. So let's go to next. You see it has already saved because I was able to provide my security question like the answer, and also I was able to give the 5 first letters of my surname and my date of birth. It was able to bring me back onto the system. So that is why it is always ideal to be saving when you are putting in your details. So you save, then you go on to the next one, continue. So here, family information, relatives, father's full name. You just provide your father's full name. Given names you provide. So make sure you just provide it like any name, a Japan for your father. Date of birth, provide your father's date of birth. 1890. Is your father in the US? No. So here, if your father is no more, or if your father has passed, you just check this box. Do not know, do not know, do not know, right? You can also provide your father's name if he's not alive, right? But if you also want, you can just check do not apply if your father has passed. So now let's go. You do the same for your mom. So mom's full name, Esther. Then given names, Abuaje. Date of birth. So you do the same. Is your mother in the US? No. Do you have any immediate relatives, not including parents in the United States? No. Then you save. Okay, I think there's this last one. Do you have any other relatives in the United States? No. You save. Then continue application. to always give you the chance to cross-check your information. So your father's surname, his first name, date of birth, is your father in the US. The same applies to your mom. If the person is dead, you can just check this box, do not know, do not know, do not know. If the person is dead, still you want to provide their information, just provide their information. When it comes up in your visa interview questions, you just say that your father or your mom is no more. So here it says present work, education, training information. So what are you currently doing? So maybe if I'm doing something related to uh, education, engineering, a government job, if you are working, your current work, right? So now present employer or school name. So in Ghana, I was working at Majoro, Ghana. Just provide the information, employer or school name where you were working. Then the street address, working around Cantonment. So Cantonment Street. Then city is going to be Accra. Then state or province is going to be Greater Accra. Then zip code for Ghana, like I said, is always 00233. Then the phone number. So phone number of any supervisor or anybody you are working with, you can just get the person's phone number and provide it here. Can just get a person's phone number, and the region is going to be Ghana. Then the start date. When did you actually start that particular work? So February, maybe in 2021. Then the income that you are taking, maybe you are taking 2,000 Ghana cedis, you just put it there. If you don't want them to know, you can just check does not apply. And briefly describe your duties. So what were you doing? So maybe one, and creator. So you just put in your job roles here or your job descriptions, what you are actually doing. As many as you can, you just put it in this box. Then you save. After you're done saving, you're going to continue application. Then what you're going to do here is you go on to the next. So previous work, education, training information. So imagine I was working at Majorel. What was the work that I was doing before moving to Majorel? So you can provide your previous work, and you can this is actually asking you to provide your previous work. The first one is your current work. This is your previous work. So were you previously employed? If yes, you just check the yes box and provide the details. So in my case, yes, because I did my national service before I got a job the month after. So here because I want to save time, I would have provided the information. I was working at National Signals Bureau. Signals. But because of time, so it's basically like the same thing. So where you were previously working is going to get the details. But in my case, I'm going to go with no. Were you previously employed? If no, for you, maybe you finish your national service and you were maintained in that same company, you can just check no. Or have you attended any educational institutions at any secondary level or above? So here is asking us of our educational level, and I'm going to go with yes. So you provide the name of the institution. So I went for my secondary education at Abuakwa State College. Then the street address is going to be street. This is just an information I'm providing. So the city, Abuakwa State College, is actually in the eastern region, Chibi. So Chibi. Then the state or province or eastern. If it does not apply, just check does not apply or does not apply. So eastern region. So postal code 00233. Country or region, Ghana. Then the course of study. I did arts. So arts or general arts, you can just put it there like that. Then date of attendance. I was in school somewhere, started. So let's see, when did you actually start school? So 2013. Then date of attendance. So the first one is actually asking you date of attendance from, then the last one date of attendance to. So when did you start your secondary level, and also when did you actually end? 2016. So add another. Here, after you're done, you have to come and check this box, add another, and add your where you got your bachelor's or your master's. So here, University of Cape Coast. Then the address is actually going to be UCC Street. Then the city is going to be Cape Coast. Then the state is going to be Central Region. Then the postal code or the zip code 00233. Here you can check with the school. The schools normally have their postal code or their zip code, so you can check with the school's website and just provide the right one. So country is Ghana. Because I've delayed, this thing is actually going to take me out. Then the course of study, I did BA in Com Studies. Then date of attendance, I'm going to do 2nd, 2016. Then the same thing for when I actually completed 2020. So after you're done, you come and save. So you can see here previous work, education, training information. So it's going to ask you for your previous work. And like I said, if you've done any previous work in the past, you just provide the information here like I did to the first one, like my current job. But if you have been employed in the same place for like a very longer period, you can just check no because you've provided the current and you're going to give them the duration. Maybe you've worked there for 5 years, 6 years. You just have to provide the same thing. So you just check the box no. Then have you attended any educational institution at secondary level or above? Yes. So your secondary level, Abuakwa State College, then where you got your bachelor's or your master's, University of Cape Coast, then you provide the address accordingly. So let's go to the next one. Additional work or educational training information. Do you belong to a clan or tribe? Yes. Clan or tribe name, Amanakan. And language name, Speak the Tree. Have you traveled to any countries, regions within the last 5 years? No. In your case, if yes, you just check the yes box and you provide the details, right? Which country? So here, because no, I'll go in for no. Have you belonged to or contributed to or worked for any professional, social, or charitable organization? No. If you've done any charitable work, just provide yes and provide the information that is going to come. So they are going to ask you the name of the organization or the name of the institution that you volunteered for. Do you have any specialized skills or training such as firearms, explosives, nuclear, biological, or chemical experience? No. Have you ever served in the military? No. Have you ever served in, been a member of, or been involved with a paramilitary unit, vigilante unit, rebel group, guerrilla group, or insurgent organization? No. Then you save. Session timeout. So like I said, the more you delay on the website, the more it's going to check you out because it's very security sensitive. So you have to make sure that you have your security code readily available because it's actually going to ask you for your security code, like the security question. You're going to provide the answer for it. And also the first 5 letters of your surname and your date of birth. So here I'm going to go retrieve an application. Okay. So first 5 letters, Japan, year of birth 1990. Then year I will draw, retrieve. Okay. So here, do you belong to any clan? Yes, we've answered that already. So here is going to ask us security questions, like a lot of security questions. So do you have a communicable disease of public health significance? Communicable diseases of public significance include chancroid, gonorrhea, granuloma, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of sicknesses they are mentioning here. So here, just check no. Do you have a mental or physical disorder that poses or is likely to pose a threat to the safety or welfare of yourself or others? No. Are you or have you ever been a drug abuser or addict? No. Then you check the save box, then you continue application. Just as simple as that. Don't pay money to anybody to do this for you. You can do it on your own. Have you ever been arrested or convicted for any offense or crime, even though subject of a pardon, amnesty, or other similar action? No. Have you ever violated or engaged in a conspiracy to violate any law relating to controlled substances? No. Are you coming to the United States to engage in prostitution, unlawful commercialized vice, or have you been engaged in prostitution or procuring prostitutes within the past 10 years? No. Have you ever been involved in or do you seek to engage in money laundering? No. Have you ever committed or conspired to commit a human trafficking offense in the United States or outside the United States? No. Have you ever knowingly aided, abetted, assisted, or colluded with an individual who has committed or conspired to commit a severe human trafficking offense in the United States or outside the United States? No. Are you the spouse, son, or daughter of an individual who has committed or conspired to commit a human trafficking offense in the United States or outside the United States? And have you, within the last 5 years, knowingly benefited from the trafficking activities? No. Have no idea what this is. They are just making sure you don't have any criminal background. So I understand we're going to face a lot of this as we move forward. So, do you seek to engage in espionage, sabotage, export control violations, or any other illegal activity while in the United States? No. Do you seek to engage in terrorist activities while in the United States, or have you ever engaged in terrorist activities? No. Have you ever or do you intend to provide financial assistance or other support to terrorists or terrorist organizations? No. Are you a member or representative of a terrorist organization? No. Are you the spouse, son, or daughter of an individual who has engaged in terrorist activity, including providing financial assistance or other support to terrorists or terrorist organizations in the last 5 years? No. Have you ever ordered, incited, committed, assisted, or otherwise participated in genocide? No. Have you ever committed or ordered, incited, assisted, or otherwise participated in torture? No. Have you committed, ordered, incited, assisted, or otherwise participated in extrajudicial killings, political killings, or other acts of violence? No. Have you ever engaged in the recruitment of the use of child soldiers? No. Have you, while serving as a government official, been responsible for a directly carried out or anytime particularly severe violations of religious freedom? No. Have you ever been directly involved in the establishment or enforcement of population controls, forcing a woman to undergo an abortion against her free choice, or a man or a woman to undergo sterilization against his or her free will? No. Have you ever been directly involved in the coercive transplantation of human organs or bodily tissue? No. So you just save, then you go to next, continue application. A lot of security questions, right? So, have you ever sought to obtain or assist others to obtain a visa, entry into the United States, or any other United States immigration benefit by fraud or willful misrepresentation of other unlawful means? No. Have you ever been removed or deported from any country? No. Then you save, then you come to continue application, right? So next, when you come here, security and background, part 5. Have you ever withheld custody of a U.S. citizen child outside the United States from a person granted legal custody by a U.S. court? No. Have you voted in the United States in violation of any law or regulation? No. Have you ever renounced United States citizenship for the purposes of avoiding taxation? No. Save. Then you go on to continue application. Then you go to next, additional point of contact. So here it says you have indicated that you will be studying in some capacity while in the United States. List at least 2 contacts in your country of residence who can verify the information that you have provided on the application. Do not, now listen, this is the part that I want you to take notice of. Do not list immediate family members or other relatives. Postal office box numbers are unacceptable. So here, don't put your immediate family members like your mom, your dad, your sister. Put, let's say, your recommenders. You can put your recommenders details here. So here, Ajimai. No, that's the surname Ajimai. So the first name is going to be Boateng. Boateng. Then street address. Osu Street. City, Accra. State or province, Greater Accra, 00233. Region, Ghana. Telephone number, 024454. Then you put the person's email address. Then you do the same for the second person. So the surname is going to be Amoabin, Beatrice, street address, Nkoko Street, city, Nkoko, then Eastern region. Then the postal code is going to be 00233. Country is going to be Ghana. Telephone number 05. Email address beatrice.com. You save. So here, additional point of contact, it says that don't use your immediate family members. So here you can put in your recommenders, your teacher, your tutor, your how do you call it? Anyone, maybe someone at your workplace. You can put the person's name and the person's address. Go to next. So next is going to provide you're going to provide the service information. So service fee and the MRV fee actually money that you're going to pay to the US government. And with the service fee, you're going to let somebody in US pay on your behalf. I think it's $350 US dollars. So what happens is that when the person pays on your behalf, the person is going to use your email address. And after the person is done with the payment, you're going to receive a receipt in your email. And the receipt is going to have the service ID. It always starts with N. So N, then you add the other numbers. So the service ID is actually going to be on your service fee receipt, which you are going to get in your email after the person is done helping you with the payment. Then provide additional information below. So name of school. So name of school. Which school are you going to? So University of Colorado. Colorado. Course of study. So what are you going to do? So maybe I'm going to study agric science. Everything will be on the service receipt. And you also know the program you're going to study. Everything is now on your I-20, the one the school is going to issue. So you should make sure that the information you are providing is the same as the one that is on the service receipt and the I-20 that you have received from the school. Then the street address is going to be 12 Norwood Avenue. Then city is going to be Denver. Then the state is going to be Colorado. Then the postal code 80304. Right? Then you save. Once you're done saving, continue application. Then you go on to the last or the final stage. Starting November 1st, 2016, eyeglasses will no longer be allowed in new visa photos. So now this is what you have to know. If you have an eye problem and you have the glasses on, I think they are not going to allow you to upload an American size passport picture. So you have to make sure that always when you're going to take your American size passport picture, you remove your glasses and make sure that you are checking the right size or the requirement, because if you don't, you wouldn't be able to put in your details or the passport picture. So make sure you go to any available Photoshop. Then you just go and get your American size passport picture. You get a soft copy and a hard copy because they are going to ask for it if you go to the embassy. I mean the hard copy, and the soft copy you have to also provide it in this section. So when you just upload, you tap on this upload, it's going to take you to your document or your files, then it will give you access for you to upload. Thank you very much for watching. If this is your first time here, I want you to subscribe to my channel, hit on the like button and share this video. I'll make another video where you can actually save all of these documents in one single file and send it to a colleague or a friend whom you trust, so that the colleague or your friend will review the things that you've actually provided in order, or if there is coherence or consistency in the information that you've provided. The reason why that is advisable is because if you provide information on this platform and it's different from what you have on your passport, it's different from what you have in your birth cert, different from what you have on your service fee receipt and your MRV receipt and the I-20, you are going to get yourself in trouble. Like, you're going to put yourself in trouble. Your visa can be denied if your information contradicts with each other. So you should make sure you are filling this yourself. Don't rush in submitting this. You can always submit this document 48 hours before your visa interview date. Thank you and bye.